Okay, so here's an intro to all of my instructional videos. So with these instructional videos, as it's mentioned oftentimes in videos, you're going to want to be taking notes. You'll need to have your notebook out. You'll need to give a section name and take notes on not only what you see in the video, but also what is up on the screen, things that are new to you, things that are important when I give instructions, examples. Also, I encourage you, write down questions. It's important to write down questions that you may have, especially during a instructional video. So make sure you're taking notes, write down questions so you can send them to me or ask me later on. Also, feel free to pause the video. That's one of the powers of a video recorded lecture or presentation, is that you can pause it, take your notes, and then start it back up again. So just a few tips that I like to insert at the beginning of all of my videos. All right, good luck.
Alright, sorry about that. Alright, last video in the series here is Sculptris, creating a head. This one, I'm going to tell you, you got to be patient with. I've on head number 5, creating heads for you. Heads for you is kind of a way to make sure I'm teaching you right here. So let's just jump into it. You're going to be using most of the tools. These are the ones you're going to use kind of mostly. Inflate, flatten, grab, the crease, and the smoothing tool. I forgot to add the smoothing tool. Leaving it in symmetry mode is very helpful. Having a lot of patience. Some things that I've learned just scouring YouTube is kind of the tip is draw in the eye sockets and then use the inflate tool to puff things out. That way you can get eyes in there. I've tried adding in orbs or spheres and didn't quite work the way I wanted it to. You know, I haven't perfected this by any means, but it seems to work really well. I've gotten close a couple of times. The biggest thing that I find is when I start puffing out the eyes or pulling them out, or is you can bring them out too far, like they're bulging out of the head. So let's jump into Sculptris here. All right, I'm going to start with the crease tool, and I'm going to get a inverted. And you'll see me do that sometimes, where I'll test out the tool before and then undo. And again, you can use any material you want. I'm just going to start here and make a crease around for the eye sockets. And then I'm going to then go into the draw tool. And I'm going to make sure that that's inverted. And I'm going to kind of draw, just kind of indent into the eye socket a little bit. This is where I've had the most, this is the way I've had the most success. And then just kind of push it in. You don't want to go too deep into that from what I've found, but you do want to have a definite eye socket in there. So I'm just going to kind of continue to draw and kind of push some of that material in, and then a couple of things. One, I'm going to try smoothing things out a little bit just to give me a nice smooth interior there. And then I'm going to come to the inflate, invert that, and just start going around and puffing things out. And you'll notice I'm kind of going in small steps, and then, you know, because what I don't want is see how you got that little valley or that little peak there. So I kind of want to avoid that if I can. You know, there's that little bit of valley. So you can try using the smoothing tool to smooth those valleys out a little bit, and maybe get a nice smooth eye in there. So there is, I'm going to say right now, I'm going to call that the closest approximation for an eye. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the grab tool, and I'm going to work on the nose a little bit. So the nose is going to be kind of tricky. Oops, definitely don't want that. I want to invert that. I want to kind of grab, no, I don't want that either. All right, let's go inflate. Inflate tool will be what I want. I'm going to pump up the volume a little bit, as they say. And we don't want that. We want it here. We want to push it out here. So I'm going to inflate, kind of going down a little bit, and then I'm going to go out around like that, and then just get kind of a nice little nose shape here. And I'm going to push it up here, kind of inflate it out here, and maybe inflate a little bit in the center, and just start to get my nose, the nose shape in there. And again, I'm going to pull that out a little bit. You can use the grab tool to kind of push things around, kind of pull something. You can rotate it, and you can see I'm kind of getting a large protrusion there. That's okay. So there I can kind of use the grab tool to shape things a little bit more. Changing your perspective is very helpful. You can see here, you need to get some smoothing going on in there. There we go. Increase the size of that a little bit just to get a little bit more of a nose shape. And changing, again, rotating around, changing your perspective is very helpful. So I like that a little bit. Now I want to use the inflate inverted and too big, and strength here. I want to draw in some nostrils. So there we go. I'm going to rotate that down. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Maybe get them. There we go. And then go with a very small smooth tool, and again just kind of smooth things out a little bit there. And there we go. Maybe smoothing things out there a little bit. Maybe inflate some things here so it's not quite as, I'll bring that down. Yeah, I kind of like that. All right, so now here's where grab, flatten are going to be helpful in just kind of starting to shape the head a little bit. Now you can leave it as an orb. I'm going to try to get a little bit of a more kind of head-like. I want to get a little bit more of a forehead going on here. So I'm going to kind of draw some things, and then go with a grab, kind of big grab tool, and then just start kind of pulling and adjusting things. You can get some very creative head shapes going on here, and so here I'm working on getting the back, kind of getting more of the, let's see, let's get a big inflate tool. Let's inflate this a little bit here, inflate this back here, and get that back, part of the skull. And, it's just kind of, and I can go bigger and stronger. Again, it's just being patient. And maybe, what, I need to kind of blow up that center part there a little bit, and kind of blow out the back a little bit. Now, I'm going to smoothen this a little bit because it is getting kind of lumpy here. And there we go, smoothing that out. Smooth around back in there. So you can see here I'm starting, it's kind of starting to look like a head a little bit. I want to add in the mouth. The mouth I have a lot of fun with. I start with Control Z. I start with an inverted crease tool, and then I just kind of draw a little smile going on in there and just give myself a good, maybe a little stronger of a brush there so I can get a good deep crease. And just a couple swipes. Go in with smooth, not quite that big, and then kind of come in and smoothen it out a little bit. And you can see it's kind of a little bit high, but that's okay. You can add in teeth. The opposite of the crease tool will help you with doing eyebrows, or you could you can add some drawing in there. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Control Z, let's invert that, and then kind of draw in the eyebrows like that a little bit. However you'd like to do that. Now I'm getting I'm getting in there. Let's see here. Let's work on the back of this head a little bit here. See if we can't get it a bit more head-like, a bit more. There we go. And you can see how that symmetry tool is helpful in, let's pull that out a little bit more there. Pull this out a little more, maybe pull these out. And it's starting to look like a head a little bit. We call that big brain. And then I'm bringing in my smoothing tool again, increase the size. kind of smoothing things out in here, get rid of those creases. One way I found to get rid of creases like that that's kind of helpful is this draw tool. Kind of draw some things, or flatten is also somewhat helpful. There we go, we can get a little bit of a head here. And then I'm going to pan out a little bit. And so there's a little bit more of that forehead there. And then, oops, small, that's a pinch. Alright, just smoothing things out there. Okay, I'm going to smooth that forehead down a little bit there. There we go. And, alright, so we got that. For ears, this is my Dr. Evil character. For ears, I like the grab tool, and kind of bring that down a little bit, come off to the side, and start pulling out your ear shape that you want. And you can adjust the size if you want to get some earlobes in there. And then using the inverse of the draw tool, definitely don't want. You can start kind of getting into and putting in the indentation of the ears. Another way you could certainly do that, that strong, is with the crease tool. Oops, we don't want Control Z inverted here. So we want to, so you can kind of get that, get the crease in there, crease of the ears in there. And certainly play around with it a little bit more. For the chin, again, grab tool is nice for the chin. Maybe make the brush a little bit bigger on that. But pulling out that chin, getting it. There we go. Oops. Whoop. There we go. Oh, there we go. Oh, that's a nice chin. Okay. And pull that out a little bit. Pull. Oops. Pull it back a little bit. You got a little bit of a chin going on there. And you can certainly keep playing around with this. I'm not going to take up too much more of your time, but that's a basic head. You can start using the pinch tool to get in and pinching things around, kind of inverting it a little bit, and use that to clean things up. The inverse of the crease tool, if you want to start adding in hair, you can start looking like bumps, maybe increase the size a little bit, start pulling in wisps, a lot of it, maybe the draw tool, get a nice skinny draw, and that's one way you could start adding in hair. Oops, that's invert, sorry. You can start drawing in, texturizing things a little bit. For hair, I'd let you play around with that, but a little bit stronger there. You can start adding in, giving it some texture, growing in some and then smoothing it out a little bit, just using the various tools to give yourself some hair. But there's a very basic head. All right, so I look forward to seeing what your heads come out looking like, and after this lesson you have completed the 3 tutorials. So the final project for Sculptris is to create your own kind of organic object. Okay, so good luck and happy creating. Go forth and do great things.
All right, well, hopefully you got something out of that. If you need to, feel free to go back and rewind or go back and watch the video again. Make sure you take those questions you have and send them to my email. That'll pop up here a couple times. And as always, go forth and do great things.